Hey, Decathlon gamer, welcome back to FM22, it's Youth Factory. This is episode 60, and we're only a few games into the season, which was not where I expected to be to start this episode, as we're going to try to make our way through the season really quickly here. But it's the Cup, and we have an important match here just because of the draw, right? We finally had a nice deep Cup run that involved, for the first time, getting some decent draws that statistically were always possible. We're back to the improbable draws, as we, here in just the third round of the Cup, have drawn an elite Syrian opponent. Again, over and over and over again, we get the improbable draw, we get the hardest draw, this time in just the third round. So our dreams are likely to be dashed here, though at the moment we've held them off, but it's only 11 minutes as they come really close to scoring on that one. We are somewhat threatening. There's there's two good things that could make it possible for us to get through this round and eliminate one of the top division sides. Thing number one, we're at home. Thing number two, Dr. Seuss. No, wait. Thing number two, as Homedale gets on the board, his first goal of the season, and we do lead in this one, and it was literally a minute later from what we had just seen a moment ago. Olleberg, Gay linking up down the side there, and then that ball across. Homedale just making the near post run, cutting in front of the defense, who really didn't respond very well to that near post run. And yeah, the lead, and Bergam almost makes it too, but Ponton makes the save. Anyway, thing two. Yes, back to that Dr. Seuss character. Bryn, like us, post, like us, are last place. Yes, we are last place right now. We have 1 point through our first 3 matches. They have no points through their first 3 matches in the top tier. So it's not saying a lot. It's only 3 matches in, but it's a team struggling versus a team struggling. Which team can struggle less? Today, so far, it's us. That looked offside, but no flag. Homedale. Ooh. Little too much sauce on that ball. Light continues into the box, the cross, far post, just above the crossbar on that one. Now, so far in the season, again, small sample size, only 3 games, but the defense has been horrifically bad. Of course, they're our weakness. Absolutely our weakness. We do not have top defenders. Halkeberg was the one defender who was really solid, and then we had a couple tolerable guys, and then we lost Halkeberg. Good ball movement at the moment. Great turn. Gay, he gets in there. Defense just gets a piece of that one, and he recovers and clears that out. That was a fantastic defensive play. Since we lost Halkeberg, it's been tough, and that was onside. We were beaten to that header. We stepped up to clear that one away, and then missed completely. That one looked offside, and yes, flag is raised this time. Shots are about even. Right now, the advantage is that we are getting ours on target, which is also giving us an advantage in the XG department. Another on-target shot there, this one from Homedale, and that header not to the teammates right in the middle of the park that were open, but towards the sideline, and didn't even get there. Tight contest. We are just about edging at the moment. Andreasen struggling, yellow card, 6.4 rating, likely to come out early, especially when you have a Modeste waiting in the wings, and you've got a chance to get beyond the round and get a little deeper into a tournament that we are hoping to get a little deeper into. So if Andreasen continues like this and does not immediately improve his rating, we shall bring him out in the next 15 minutes or so. either way, he's not going to last the 90 on that yellow card. Williberg. Bergam, great through ball, and Bergam, that is so close to going in the upper corner, near corner. Corner kick through Homedale, his second of the game. He's got the brace, second of the season. It's 2-0. Early first half, we get the opener. Early second half. That looks like it may have taken a slight deflection. You had the guy who would have been marking Homedale. That's outside the box. They are stepping up for a penalty. That's outside the box. He's standing where our man is right now on that upper corner. That's where the foul took place. This is a terrible call, and it's 2-1. Looked like we had ball anyway, but you know this game when it comes to fouls. Outside of the dangerous slide tackle, you don't actually visually see any of them properly. But location was outside the box, not heading in. That's an absolute garbage call that has allowed them back into this thing just 2 minutes after we go up by 2. Are we in for a Man City Real Madrid scoreline? Is there going to be 7 goals today? I doubt it. Well, let's see if we can hang on. Uh-oh, that is onside. That is through, and that is stopped by Moen. Big save. Big save in the one-on-one. Oh, gosh, we just cannot win a header against this guy. He's winning all of them. Fawoli on a yellow now. Great setup for Ostby, and he tries to curl that around the keeper, around the defense, and he does curl it around everything, but around the goal as well. Jonas Gay deflected to Homedale, and Homedale can't get it on target. Andreasen with the clearance. Homedale's going to get on the end of this. And can we counter the other way? We had a momentary advantage in terms of numbers, and then we turn it over. Is this their highlight? It's starting to look like it is. No, Ostby intercepts. Bergam, Williberg, Homedale. He's a step offside. Just a hair too early. Okay, Andreasen is doing better, but we are at that point where I think it's time for this. Yes! Yes, it's time to cheer. That's what time it is. It's time to sub off on Andreasen. Jonas Gay with the free kick. Severede rising up and winning the header. Something we have not done terribly well today, but he does perfectly here. Goes near post, right up into that corner where we tried with Bergam a little while ago and could not succeed. It was on target. Keeper saved that one. This time, no save from the keeper, and it is 3-1. Great opportunity for them to close it almost immediately back in, as they did the previous time. Great tackle there. And we are going the other way. That's the ball I would have taken. Modeste was open on the inside there, but Homedale finds Bergam through, and it's 4! Holy crap, we are going to win this thing. We are going to get out of this round. Or so it would seem. We have 20 minutes to hang on. Let's start with a little time wasting. Great pass. Really strong finish from Bergam. Keeper needed to react a little bit better, but, you know, how much of an angle do you want to give the other way if you come over and challenge nearby? All right, let's see. What can we do? What can we do? Let's get a Janssen on. Haagensen on the yellow now. Ostby through for Homedale. That's onside. That is onside. Missed opportunity on that one to get the hat trick. Gillo heads that away. How are we looking here? How are we looking? How are we looking? That one misses the target. Haagensen on a yellow and struggling. Let's go ahead and Gumyuk coming on, and we are into stoppage. Let's go ahead and increase that time wasting. Let's not bother changing everything else. We've got this. It's a 3-goal lead. Time's up. Headed away. Bergam should hold out, and there's the final whistle. No, don't even hear the whistle. That's how subtle it was. And we pulled away, controlled the second half, got the job done. Yes, we did. And the XG, just about right. This thing could have been a 3-2 game, but it was 4-1, and from the highlights you would think that 4-1 was about deserved. The XG, not quite on board, but definitely a deserved victory. A really strong performance from the team. Great way to bounce back. Hopefully this is a little boost to morale that can get us going in the league a little bit, as we have struggled here in the early stages of the season. I am planning on going very quickly through this season, so let's go ahead and push forward. I'll be back when I'm back. It could be a few games. It might be a little longer. It could depend on what's happening with the Cup 4th round. We had a somewhat slow start to the season, but then again, Ålesund and Kongsvinger are 2 of the league favorites, and one of those was on the road, and we were close in both games. So realistically, we weren't that far off. And then we finally got a draw in our 3rd game, and it was Straumen, and Straumen's a team that we could absolutely beat, but we were on the road. We scored in each of those 3 games, so it all made a certain amount of sense. And then we get that upset against Brine in the third round of the Cup. And since then, we are in cruise mode. We have won 4 out of 5. We got a draw in the other one. That was the only time we didn't manage to score. It includes the 4th round of the Cup, Fredrikstad. So they are now, 1 tier behind us. And we were able to beat them on the road, 1-0, tight contest. But we've beaten the team that was sitting first in the league, Asker, at the time that we played them, on the road, 4-1. Start was sitting 5th in the league. We beat them 2-1. So we are absolutely rolling right now. That's good. That is fantastic. That is really going to help things in the whole let's not get relegated. That feels like it's not going to be as much of a problem this season as the team, slowly develops. We have all of our players back. They should be better, ultimately, than they were a year ago. Therefore, we should be a little more comfortable. A little more comfortable as in, 2 additional points, 3 additional points, 5 additional points, whatever the case may be. I don't think we're suddenly going to contend in the league, but, a little more distant from that relegation zone, or so you would hope. So far, that's feeling like the case. Now, in the month of June, we have some easier matches, actually. Our next 3 are decent chance of getting some points. Actually, the whole month, we have a decent chance of getting some points. And then we're on the road at Straumen for the 5th round of the Cup. Not easy because it's on the road, and that's the team we drew 1-1 at the start of the season on the road against. So it's winnable. It's absolutely winnable. I'd give us probably a 50-50 chance of getting beyond that one. Even if we don't, it's 5th round of the Cup. We've made it decently far. But I'm going to just go ahead and push right on through another month and see where we're at. But real quick before we do that, here's where we stand in the league at the moment, which is 6th place. 7 matches played, +3 goal differential, 11 points. Big old collection of teams just behind us. That's to be expected. But the bottom zone is definitely a little bit further off, a little bit further behind, a little bit struggling. Our next game is Kristiansund. That, of course, would really boost them if they could beat us. But if we can get some results over this next month, you'd like our chances. Tromsø, the one. And actually, that does hurt our chances a little bit because there's those top teams. And we've played all of them already the first time around. But we do need to play Tromsø. And it's our only home game all month, isn't it? We have 3 on the road, 1 at home, and it's Tromsø. So actually, it may not necessarily be the easiest month for us. It's winnable games, but it's a lot of road games. So wouldn't be too bad off if we only took 4 points this month and slipped down a spot or 2 in the standings. You would think, right? Tougher to play on the road. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and push forward a month. And as I suspected, it was going to be a tough month. We did get a win to keep our streak going. We beat Kristiansund on the road 3-1, but then the league leaders, Tromsø, just pummeled us. It was 3-0. It was a very, very comfortable win for them. Homedale ended up with a red card, straight red. That was not helpful, but that was already after the 3 goals had been scored. They got the first one in the second minute. I mean, it was not pretty. But then, as this game always loves to do, you get a big, nice, long run going. But the moment you lose one game that you were always destined to lose, and it was expected, and it was an expected performance, all of a sudden, that's it. Your momentum's gone, and it flips. It goes the other way. Raufoss beats us 2-0. Of course, we were on the road. Then we go on the road to Strømmen in the 5th round of the Cup, and they beat us 3-1. And then the one we should be winning at home against Brann 2, which actually, I think they're mid-table, upper mid-table, so they're higher than us in the standings. But we're at home. You would expect to get at least a point. But Simon Moen apparently has a terrible day, 6.2 rating, so own goal? No. Kaspersen scores, but looks like it should have been saved. The rest of the team effectively does nothing. I mean, Lovas with 7.4, which means their keeper probably had a pretty good day if Lovas has the highest rating on the team and we had no goals. That would suggest that things did not go according to plan. But like I said, I didn't expect to drop a whole lot in the standings as a result. If we get at least a win along the way, I was hoping for 4 points. We got 3. That one more point wouldn't have made much difference. We'd be right there with Sandefjord. And that's who we play next, by the way. So here we are, 10th place, 11 matches played, and definitely not even halfway. I mean, the halfway point's going to be 4 more matches. So why don't we go ahead and do that, make it halfway. We'll get through a whole half of the season in this episode. I like that. That's a good plan. Well, let's see where we're at the halfway point. Now at the halfway stage, and much better month of July. There's 1 game left. It's Kongsvinger. Even though we're at home, you figure they're going to be favorites to win. Elsund beat us, but that was only 2-1, and we were on the road for that. So not bad against one of the top 3 teams in the league. But we beat Sandefjord on the road. Fredrikstad, not easy, but they are one of those upper teams. So even though we were at home and we had the advantage and we only won by a goal, we did win. And then Odd 2, one of the weak teams in the league, we were able to beat them comfortably. They are in the relegation zone. But that was a road game. So again, that for us is a pretty big step. And yeah, okay, fine. We lost to Elsund, but still, that was a pretty outstanding match. So here's how we sit now in the league after a much better month that is nearly to an end now. 15 matches played, which is the halfway point, and we have 23 points. Now, of course, 46 compared to last season would be pretty dang comfortable. I think we did end up with about 40 points last season. I don't remember what our final tally was. I guess we could look. 38. So we ended up on 38 points last season. Right now we're on rate for 46. So definitely a step in the right direction for us. We have 7 wins, 2 draws, 6 losses. We are hanging in there as a mid-table team this time around. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to stay there for the second half, but that was definitely a good first half. Really happy with the progress we have made. Tromsø is very comfortable at the top of the league, well ahead of everybody else, but then there's a pretty tight battle. In fact, we're only 6 points out of the promotion zone. Don't suspect we're going to suddenly be that kind of team. I think this was a very good first half. I don't expect us to do better. In fact, if I were a betting man, I would bet that we wouldn't match our first half total. I don't think we're going to get another 23 points. I certainly don't think we're going to get more than 23 points in the second half. Maybe we match, maybe we're close to matching, maybe we get 20, 21 points in the second half. I think that's more realistic. Because I think we did about as good as we could in the first half, based on the state of the team right now. that second half will be coming, and we'll quickly make our way through the season in the next episode. We should get all the way through the rest of it, get into some final results as long as we remain comfortable. Right now, 12 points above the drop is pretty dang comfortable. In fact, we have half of the gap to the promotion zone that we do to the relegation zone. So for that, yes, we look very comfortable right now, and our chances of staying alive seem almost assured. Far from assured, though. I mean, we still need to score some points. We still need to get some results in the second half. But it does seem, based on the first half, based on last season, that it shouldn't be much of a problem. Quick check-in on squad progress. So we're looking at 5 teams in the 5 players in the 80s, which I think is where we were at already. But Janssen continues to improve. He's now in 82. So he is just flying up that ladder, and he is absolutely a better player than Fawoli now. So he belongs in that starter's spot, and maybe I need to be making that change where Fawoli is starting in defense. I will need to make those comparisons, but he is definitely looking better than Gillo, though only slightly, but definitely looking better than Severede, and Jakobsen and Harstead and the other guys down the list. So for that, you figure that seems the right move to make to get Fawoli in there. In fact, he's a couple better than Hugginson as well, so he would be our best defender, at least on paper. I think it's probably worth it to make that move permanent now that Janssen he's flying. Janssen is our best player in terms of development here lately. In the U19s, we had just a single guy above 60, and that was Heisted, and he is in the same place he was. But Fosse is developing quickly, and he is a defender. He could be finding himself in the senior squad here fairly soon, depending on where that development is going. But his training rating is good. In fact, look up and down that U19s. Now, one of the things that I've focused on these last 2 seasons was eliminating players that weren't training well, that weren't developing. And then obviously hanging on to guys that had high potential, but especially those that were developing. And other than Bionis, the goalkeeper, typical, we're getting such strong development out of our U19s right now. But Heisted's not going anywhere. He's been stuck on that 66. But Hole and Foss, neither one of those guys were in the 60s just a short while ago. And look at all those high 50s, 56 and above, way down the list, 54 and above, way down the list, until you get to just a handful of guys in the 40s. And there was a couple, I believe, that were in their 30s, like Kadar, I think, was in his 30s just a short while ago. So they're developing as well. U19s looking really good in terms of development at the moment. Hole, he's only 15. This is one of our guys who just came in this recent intake, and he's only been with us a few months. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.